Hey there, everyone. A lot has been going on in the markets now that elections are over. Wow, lots to talk about.
Yeah, you guys, a lot of people wait for the elections to kind of end. I don't know, for some reason, it kind of slows down the market, whether that be stocks, real estate, because people are kind of trying to figure out what happens with this election and any other election. So typically, we don't really see a lot of slowdown in the month of November unless it's like an election year. And so the reason why is one, because people are trying to figure out what's going to happen. But then we just want to share with you guys that it says on this article that the Department of Housing and Urban Development and the National Association of Realtors shows that after 9 of the last 11 presidential elections, home sales increased the following year.
So here's the thing. It's tricky, right? When it comes to investing or where to put your money or even buying homes. We talk to buyers all the time. People ask us, should we wait until after elections? Right? My friends are telling me, wait. I have family members saying I should wait.
We even have like
And
realtors who are more optimistic now that the elections are over.
when's the best time usually to invest, whether it's in the stock market, buying a home? It's
When
usually
it's
when
slow.
people are a little nervous
Yeah.
and people want to wait. People want to see what's going to happen, right? And so that usually is a sign that there's fear in the market,
Mhm.
and usually there's really good deals.
Oh yeah.
On the flip, now the election just passed, we see that the S&P 500 just hit an all-time high, right? If you follow Bitcoin or crypto, all-time
Mhm.
high. Like it's projected to go even more. And we also are thinking that real estate's next to go up.
Yeah.
Real estate usually lags behind the stock market, right?
Yeah.
So if the stock market goes up, real estate's going to be following. If the
Yeah.
stock market comes down, real estate usually stays up and then starts to come down. So we think next is going to be real estate.
Oh, for
But
sure.
here's the thing. We've
Ye-
said this in all of our videos, the more people in the market, the more
Yeah.
competition, right? Prices go up, less incentives.
Yeah. So I think right now, because interest rates went up after the election, and because what happens is what I'm hearing is that people are actually taking money out of the 10-year treasury bond and then investing it in like S&P 500 or
Stock
stocks.
market, yeah.
So we're seeing kind of like a transition. Well, mortgage rates are tied to the 10-year treasury bond. So, the 10-year treasury bond actually went up, and then interest rates went up as well. So 30-year fixed rate right now, based on this website, is 7.5, whereas last week it was like under 7. So we are hearing that interest rates are eventually going to go down. We just don't know when. We've had, you know, people tell us that it was going to be, in 2024, and then end of 2024, then it's going to be next year. We don't know, but we do know that, you know, they are looking at different numbers like inflation and job unemployment. But then when the economy's good, people tend to purchase more, like they are making money in stocks, so maybe they'll cash out some of the stocks and invest it in real estate, right? But one thing that we're seeing right now is, don't wait for these opportunities where the market is high, where real estate's doing well and interest rates are low, to get into the market. Because like, even for example with stocks, right? S&P 500 right now is at 5,985, whereas, back in May, the lowest was 4,967. So
I
wouldn't
think
you
it's
rather,
up about 36% this
yeah.
year.
So
You know,
wouldn't you rather buy when it's low than trying to chase the
it's the
market?
psychology behind it. And I live it too, right? I do have some Bitcoin, and I think it just hit
Oh,
75,000 or 70,000 a month or so ago, right? It hit all-time highs again. I'm like, whew, made that money back.
Yeah.
And then it started to pull back. And I told myself after it started to pull back, gosh, I need to start taking profit, because what if it goes down? It was at 75. I should
It was
have.
71. It was 71 um in January.
So I tell myself after the fact, I should have took a little bit of profit, right? While it's going down. And now it's almost at
88.
90. And I'm like, it might keep going and just keep it in the market. I don't need to sell it and try to, so now that things are going good, I don't want to sell it.
Right.
When
But
things are going bad, I want to sell it. And it should be the other way around. When
right
things are going bad,
is when you want to buy
not just
more.
in crypto, but just investment in general, that's usually when you find deals, and that's usually a good time to get in the market, right?
Yeah.
Hey there, guys. Just want to take a second and say thank you for visiting our channel. I know there's a lot of information, and that's what we're here for.
And if you guys are looking to make a move in Northern California, we would love to hear from you, whether you're looking to buy or sell a resale home or buy a new construction. We would be happy to just walk you through the whole process because there's a lot of stuff that goes behind the scene, and we want to make sure that you're well represented. So our contact information is below in the description. We'd love to hear from you.
All right, back to the video. That being said, when it comes to like the S&P 500 or real estate, time in the market is better than not being in the
Right.
market. You
Yeah.
can't really time the market. And I'll give you a perfect example.
Oh
I
gosh.
think it was yesterday. I had a little bit of money in our Fidelity account, and it's
Yeah.
just sitting there. I forgot to invest it, and I want to keep investing into, let's say, the S&P 500, and it hit all-time high. Did I? A part of me said, "Let me wait to see if it comes down a little bit," and then I just said, "No, it doesn't matter because it's going to come down and it's going to go up. I just need to be in the market."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the longer I wait, it just keeps going up. And if it pulls back a little bit, so be it.
Right.
I just need to be in the market. And in the
Well,
long run, it's going to continue to go up. And that's how real estate
yeah.
works, right?
Well,
I can't time if my house is going to crash or if it's going to go up, but I do know the
over the long
longer
run.
we're in it, the
The-
better the investment choice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then if you're not even looking at it as an investment purpose and you're just looking at it because you need to have a shelter for your family and you don't want to pay someone else's mortgage, then that's really going to benefit you because you're not looking to sell anytime soon. But guess what? 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, right?
Yeah, the
You could
equity.
pass, like, this house is going to go to our kids,
Yeah.
right? They're going to benefit from it, just like I'm going to benefit from my mom. And she benefited from her parents, right?
Yeah.
And that's a good position to be in, right? So don't worry about the now of, is this the best time to buy? What we can say is in our area, there is a lot of great deals out there. There really is.
Yeah.
And I think I do think 2025, there's a lot of optimism out there right now. Prices are going to probably go up, incentives are going to start to go away, but there's still going to always be good deals out there.
Well, so when you talk about like real estate, right? I even remember we were out in Brentwood. Gosh, I don't even know how long it was. And we were looking at houses and we were like, this house in Brentwood was $530,000. We're gonna wait for prices to go down. And I kid you not, like, I think that house is probably like $800,000 right now. So the more we educate ourselves with like history of real estate, over the long run, you are always going to have built-in equity because one, you're paying down your mortgage when you pay your mortgage payments. And then two, housing prices appreciate 5 to 8% year over year. So compounded over years, you're gaining a lot more equity versus with rent, you're paying 100% interest and none of that money goes back to you. So like he said, that's kind of just, being in the market, not so much trying to time everything because over the long run, in 15, 20 years, you're still putting yourself in a better situation. So there's an article here, and we talk a lot about it here in our area. High home prices force builders to offer mortgage buy downs and more. So let's talk about what we're seeing with the builders, because a lot of our clients are relocating here to the Sacramento region, buying new construction over resale homes.
Kind of makes sense to me, and obviously I've been kind of working with the new builds for quite some time now, so I see the benefits of it. Um, they just have an edge. If I go take a client to look for resales and we write an offer on a home, there's a good chance that the seller could actually give you a credit as well to buy down your interest rate. But we typically don't see that, especially if the house is fresh on the market. If they have four offers, they don't have to give you a penny.
Yeah.
And if they have four offers, that house is actually going to go over asking price. And then you have to still do inspections, appraisal, make sure appraises and negotiate on that behalf, right? So there's a lot more moving parts when it comes to resale.
Buyer
And it's
broker.
an older home as well. Now, if I take you to a new build, every new build is different. But as far as we could see, every new build offers some kind of
Yeah.
incentive for you to buy their home,
Yeah.
move into their community, right?
And right now, because of the end of the year, we're seeing some of the best incentives because they're trying to meet their fiscal end
I think
as
that's
well.
definitely a factor, but
Yeah.
also these new builds are building in new areas, so they're not fully developed.
Yeah.
So they need to do something to get people excited to move a little bit further out.
Yeah.
When the master plan is going to be fully built out, but it takes some time. And maybe not everybody knows about these certain areas. That's where we're seeing some of the best areas. For Roseville, for instance, you could be in the Roseville School District. You could be in a place that's going to be booming in 5 years, like booming,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
Yeah.
right now it's in the beginning stage.
Yeah.
And we're seeing Roseville School District, brand new homes, 500 plus thousand, obviously up higher too, depending on the house you want.
Price
You get a
point.
brand new home in the 500,000
Yep.
price point, right?
Yep.
And they're also lowering your interest rate, and we're able to negotiate on the incentives and the price.
Actually, I just talked to the builder today on that specific community, and I asked her, what are your current incentives right now? They just added solar. So one of the things with new construction is all of the new homes in California have to have solar now. So you're gonna have to purchase it or lease it. And depending on how large your home is, what community, it really depends. It ranges from like 15,000 to like $30,000. So this builder just said that they started including solar on the home prices, and they're including $7,500 in closing costs on top of that, but they're also offering 4.9% FHA or 5.5% conventional 30-year fix.
In that builder, we could probably still
And she said you could
take
still
offers.
negotiate. Yeah.
Make sure you have the right person with you to negotiate the best possible deal, right? And that's just for now. When that community's up and running and people are flooding in and they're selling more, guess what? They
Then,
pull
yeah.
that solar off. Then the interest rate, they'll still offer a lower interest rate, but it's not going to be in the fours. It's going to be
yeah.
higher, right?
And then also
And
like,
then, no, we're not going to take an offer because we have a line of people on a wait list.
mhm.
Things are going to get pulled back, right?
And that's when they're selling, but then also when interest rates go down and, tons of people come back out in the market every time. They said for every 1% rates go down, like 1 million people are qualified to buy more or something like that. So then you're competing with more people as interest rates go down. So all these incentives are going to get rolled back.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
saw it when interest rates were already low.
3%.
There were so many people in the market in resale and new builds, but focusing on new builds, they didn't have to give you anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And resale, you already know what that was like. It was waiving contingencies, waiving appraisal, waiving inspection.
Giving up
Who
your
knows how much over the
Oh, for
asking
sure.
price just to get your
But
offer
Looked at, yeah.
right?
But like that was the thing that we were hearing after that whole era of real estate was a ton of people didn't even really like their home because they were forced to settle on their home because everything was just going so fast that they didn't even really have time to process, think, or make a decision. They were just like, I need to get into a house, right? So there was a lot of people who either moved or who still live in their home that were just like, man, like this wasn't, the home that I wanted, but because things were so crazy, they had to like jump fast. So in comparison to right now, things are a little bit slower on the resale side. But in the new builds, there's just so much opportunity right now that people are getting into homes with higher affordability because of these rates. I mean, 4.99% is a lot cheaper than 7%, right? So that's a whole 2% less. And how much is that saving you a month on mortgage payments? So either you save, $400 or $500 a month on mortgage payments, or your affordability goes up higher. So you can buy a home that you actually like.
Yeah, it's nice to see that interest rates are high, but there's, like I said, still really good deals out there. Not everybody's aware of it, but you could get a brand new home in a really good area and get an actual interest rate fixed, non-adjustable in the fours right now. It's common at certain builders, and you could still negotiate on some things. That's where we're at right now, but things change. There's a lot of optimism right now in now that the election's over, we're seeing it, right? There's just with like the S&P going up, so all-time high, and sentiment starting to change out there. We think that after the holidays, even during the holidays, but probably after the holidays, I think real estate's going to start pumping a little bit too, and that's with the interest rates where they're at. If they come down, even more so. We know that when interest rates come down, more people in the market. So I actually don't mind interest rates being where they're at or teetering back and forth from 6 to 7, because I know that you could still get really good interest rates, and I know there's less competition.
Yeah.
When the competition changes, I don't know. I don't know
It gets a little bit stressful.
you might, let's say you could get
well, let's go back to
interest rate
2021, 2020.
Well, let's just even think if it goes down to 5.5, and what were you saying, 100,000,
100 or a million
a
people
million
more.
per
Yeah.
point? So 1.5 million in the market, that's going to raise prices. And that's gonna have builders not need to offer the same incentive.
Oh my gosh, I lied. 1% drop in rates bring 5 million buyers into the market.
That was way off. That's huge.
That is huge.
So I think we're in a good time. And I think even if it does get busy, the area we're in, there's just so much growth that there's always going to be that I want to stay where it's fully developed. And there's always going to be that opportunity to buy a brand new area in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, right? We bought this home. It was not too much was around
Phase
it
2.
3.5 years ago. And now it's stuff everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And we see that everywhere. So as it keeps building, there's constantly deals out there.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys have someone educated, very knowledgeable about the areas that could answer your questions and make sure they go up to bat for you to get the best possible deal. Because there's a lot of negotiation skill actually that goes behind getting the best possible deal.
Yeah, for sure. All right, you guys. Well, we hope you enjoyed this video. We just want to pump out some content to be able to help you guys make the best decision for your family. So we hope this is very informative. If you guys have any questions at all, we would love to hear from you. We'll put our Calendly link below, or our contact information. Feel free to email or text us as well.
And if you're new to the channel, make sure to send a little love to that subscribe button. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.